live. Now we are available because today is the show after young America's birthday. So there's a lot of controversy about the young America's birthday. Did you know about
Really?
this?
Why?
Did you hear about Colin Kaepernick issue, which I have a slight problem with?
No, I didn't hear anything about this.
So they were going to release these Nikes. This is by the way, this is episode 182. We're gonna release.
What up?
What up? What up, world? It's 182. Love and Chokes Jiu Jitsu, CLEVAS, LAS. You know, across from me, with the flag on his back, literally
Always.
is
And on my shoulder.
and his shoulder.
Always.
He comes when he charges. He leads with that shoulder because Cleveland's on that shoulder.
You already know.
There you go. So, 4th of July happened. But
Yes, it did.
Yes. How was your 4th of July?
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was it was all over the place. So it started out just awesome. It was only awesome at first. We go to the Mandalay Bay. We go to Toptional. You ever hear that term before?
No.
You don't know what Toptional is?
No. Oh, Toptional.
Mm.
Now I do.
It means that tops are optional.
Mm.
And so there are a lot of people sunbathing topless, which was kind of nice because I like boobs. And we had a nice little spot in the VIP, chilling and like having drinks and getting in the pool and just relaxing and laughing. It was really fun. Then we got back to the crib and it was still really fun. And then our neighbors lit off fireworks.
Ooh.
And there might have been allegedly a fire at a neighbor's house that we had to put out with a fire extinguisher. Like, look, I've never seen Stipe fight a fire, you know?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Right.
So I know he has an outfit. And I know we're all supposed to say he's an American hero.
Yeah.
But do you see these sandals right now?
Oh, a little char burn. They got a little dust, a little soot.
So just so we know, we're shooting right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have fucking burns and cuts. Like, it was fucking dicey, bro. It was fucking dicey. So like, it's like, oh, like, how was your 4th? And I was like, well, it was pretty fucking awesome.
Until, well,
But there were some complications.
yeah. Darren became a hero for a moment, in a moment in time.
Dude, like, it was dicey. I don't want to give away, like, I'm not trying to rat or be crazy with it, but like, dude, it was fucking dicey.
That's funny. It's like,
so how was your 4th of July?
it was it was challenging. I will say this, I was challenged a lot. The first thing was I was trying to be proactive and plan out something cool. So I wanted to go to a tiki bar where they like basically give you drinks that will put you on your ass forever. But they were closed. They were closed on 4th of July, so went to the next best thing. Went to Platform, but of course the gods.
Oh yeah, I know that place.
Gods didn't favor us, and made it rain. So all the outside people came inside, and it became a hot, humid ball. But then we went to shuffleboard. We played shuffleboard, tabletop shuffleboard. I told them about me watching the ESPN3 finals of Eastern Michigan, Jamal Taylor, the champion matches. We were playing shuffleboard, and that's how I got my technique and win the matches. So that's my story.
Your man Jamal.
Yeah,
Jamal plays shuffleboard.
Jamal Taylor, yeah, in East Michigan, they have it on ESPN3. You can watch it. That's my joke because that's how I'm so good at this. I watched Jamal Taylor in East Michigan.
I've actually taken some secret private lessons from a professional.
Yeah.
Pretty badass at the shuffleboard call.
Yeah. Yeah, so the fingers, you gotta make it glide and curve. But yeah, and then that's what's called. And then went back to Platform, got a little drunky drunk. Then went back to my house, grabbed 2 bottles, one of vodka, one of that tequila. We should have just left the vodka bottle at home because when we came through, we pretty much cleared the bottle between like 4 people of tequila. So we had a lovely night.
I'm proud of you.
And then I went home miserable because you know what? The rib cage was the only thing that was open, and they made crappy sauce. They put meat on a plate and then just sent it out. So whatever sauce you were supposed to get or flavoring was non-existent.
So you're talking about the one by you,
Yeah,
right? Not
yeah.
the east side one.
No, not the good place, the bad place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, the ribs on the east side are superior.
yeah,
Everyone knows.
because they're by Superior.
All right, cool. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's this Colin Kaepernick gimmick? What did he do?
Oh, so basically, and this is my little whole complaint about it. But what happened was, is Colin Kaepernick saw, like, do you know the Betsy Ross flag?
Yeah,
Okay, so for people who don't know, it's just a circle. It's like the 13. I believe it's like the
13 stars.
13 stars in a circle. It's like just an old school flag. It's one of the many flags we had, and uh, Colin Kaepernick was like, "Oh, that flag might be perceived as racist because there's some race groups that use it, and you should not. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should think about pulling it from your pulling that shoe from your line before you release it." And it wasn't like he made it public. It wasn't like he made it. He made it in a meeting privately, and then because of that, the whole internet blew up because Nike did remove the shoe, and so like you have a bunch of people being mad, like I can't believe that you wouldn't allow history just because that person thinks that reminds them of slavery in that moment of time, or that flag reminded them of something, which was kind of not the idea of the flag. It was more of like revolting against the Europe British kings.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on this. So this is like that flag is as racist as a microaggression is a real aggression.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the same person that thinks a microaggression is a real thing that has to be addressed and stopped and chopped off at the root, and that like that white privilege is a thing that's like a thing that's crippling black people like all day, like like that. I'm so oppressed right this second, like by some other motherfucker's privilege right now. Like I'm just sitting in my room podcasting live on the internet, and I feel so oppressed right now. Like that kind of fuckery.
Right.
And like those are the same people. Like the people that think that 13-star flag is racist. It's not like Nike tried to make a Confederate flag shoe.
Right.
Because then you would have, I would think, a majority of black people would feel uncomfortable in a room with a person flying that flag without any other context. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know you. I see that flag. I assume you are a racist. If you have a 13-star flag outside your house, I do not think anything negative. I don't think anything racial.
Right.
Like it doesn't cross my mind.
Yeah.
Like I think you might be one of those like 3%ers. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might be a prepper.
But
I don't think you're a fucking racist.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the assumptions that I would make based upon seeing that flag in your hand or on your property, none of them would be like, oh, that person's fucking racist for sure. Like that's a bullshit thing to think. And I think he read the wrong articles. He fucks the wrong girl.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, like, oh, I don't know. Some people might think that's racist, Nike, and they just pull it, right? But they shouldn't have pulled it. That shoe was probably fire.
Yeah.
And
you want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see it. So it's already made.
It's made. Yeah, they had like it was
Dude,
made.
That bitch is out there.
It was shipped to stores, and they just told
that bitch out there.
Yeah, it's out there. People are selling.
And now it's worth like $100,000.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a good. We can find a good picture of it. Nike, Betsy Ross.
It's a sad, sad world when you can't fly a fucking 13-star flag without somebody trying to call bullshit on it. Like I'm. Yeah, dude, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And that shoe is pretty fire.
It is. My point is this, though. I don't think there's like it's nothing. It's like he's allowed to have that opinion. I think that's fine. But I think what's unfair is that like it was like that was just like something that was said behind closed doors and it became public, and then it's like this ear beating of like this is what you said and this is why it got pulled. It's like he made a suggestion. There was no like,
right now in a meeting anyone can suggest anything,
right.
And like in a meeting about something creative, and a shoe is creative technically, like it's not just apparel. That's a piece of art. Somebody made that.
Right.
Someone designed that. Like a lot goes into that. In a meeting, you should be able to say anything.
Yeah.
Like, I think the fucking laces should look like this, and I think some people have an opinion of this flag. Like, all these things should be said in a meeting. But to be like, I feel like they didn't really research it. enough if they pulled it based on that one comment.
And that's on Nike. That should, like, I don't think I don't think you can hate Colin Kaepernick, but I don't think you should be able to hate him for this. You can hate him for like the Frederick Douglass quote.
No, there's no reason to hate him for this.
All they do.
He mentioned something in a meeting.
Yeah.
Someone else took action. He didn't stage a protest.
Right.
He didn't like call the fucking media and say you're a bunch of fucking racist cunts.
Right.
Like if what was said was some people might perceive this as racist.
What's fine?
I think that's if you're going to be a weirdo progressive motherfucker, it's the best way to say it. Someone might perceive it this way. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if he flat out said, this is racist, this is a symbol of oppression, I would kick him in his dick. Right?
Right.
But if he said, someone might perceive this way, well, that means you want to take anything, any picture, any drawing that was made in America before and before Jim Crow was abolished, right?
Yeah.
Like you could say that before black people were free, before the fucking Civil Rights Act, right? Mm-hmm. Everything, every picture, every fucking piece of art reminds me of a time where my people weren't free.
Right.
And it's racist. And when you bring up a fucking year in which my people were not entirely free in front of me,
yeah,
I feel like you're making an aggressive statement about my oppression. I feel like you want to see me in that place. I feel like you're a racist. Like, what a fucking bullshit card. That's the root of it. It's just, It's a bullshit thing to say. Like, yes, dude. Like, things used to be really, really shitty, and sometimes things are shitty now. Respect. Now suck it the fuck up and go live your life. Like, like, I don't want to hear this bullshit about how, like, oh, that flag is racist. Like, I want a Confederate flag right now. I'll put a Confederate flag in my room. Fuck you. Like, just to say fuck you. Like, right. Like I'm of that mindset. And, like, that's the thing. Like, like, this is how a fucking celebrity idiot can get elected president because of backlash. Like, someone dumber than me feels the same feeling I feel, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm Trump.
2020.
Like, like, drain the swamp. Like, fuck this bullshit. Like, but you don't have to be that much dumber than me. You don't have to be even dumber than me. Because it feels good to push against that fucking soft bullshit culture. Right? It's fun to do. Like, it would be fun to have a Confederate flag. Like, it would be fun. Like, but like, you don't go full retard, right? Robert Downey Jr. taught us this.
Yes.
Like, you don't go full retard. So
I
will not fly Confederate flag.
Right.
But I have a sentiment that makes me tempted to do so.
I get it. I get what you're saying. I don't know. I think it's all of it's dumb. I just think it's also stupid that, like, you can just, like, you can pull a shoe based off of somebody's recommendation that the flag has been co-opted by groups espousing racist ideologies.
So what? I mean, they fly the fucking American flag too.
Right. No. But listen. But, like, there's no
white nationalists fly the American flag hard as fuck. Are we gonna stop flying it because some cunt decided it meant something else?
Right.
Like, what the fuck? We don't have to adjust to them. We have to make them adjust to us. Like, they are a small fucking group of humans.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna adjust things because some white nationalist fucking uses an image. Suck my fucking black cock. Like, not a chance. Like, I don't fucking adjust to you. There's like 5 of you in the whole world, and you all live in the Pacific Northwest. No one gives a Frenchman's fuck about your opinion. Like, just stay in the whitest area that you can afford to live in, and don't bother anybody.
Right.
Like, don't bother anybody. Like, how many of these white nationalists that you're adjusting to even have a fucking job, Colin Kaepernick? Like, none of them, you're fucking losers. Like, they're fucking losers. Like, you didn't make it. You didn't make it. Your life sucks, and now you're like,
hate black people.
You know what really sucks? Niggers.
It should have been integration.
You know, this would never be the case. I'd have a job right now. My daughter wouldn't be on math if it wasn't for them niggers. Go fuck yourself, bro.
All I'm saying is that the person who said what he said and wasn't has not quoted should get beat with batteries. Like that person, because think about it. Like I'm allowed to just be a nameless source and say something that somebody else said that was without any real quote behind it, and it's news. Like nobody knows who this person is that said that like is reporting this thing as truth. And it's like one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, hey man, you should get beat with a battery. Like I think that's what it is. Like
But it does put Colin Kaepernick back in the news, which is maybe where he wants to be. Who knows? And it puts Nike in people's mouth, and that's gonna move shoes regardless.
That's true.
Right? All press is good press.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a UFC event this weekend.
There is a UFC.
But more than the event, I want to talk about motherfucking Diego Sanchez.
Oh yeah, what about him?
Dude, Diego Sanchez almost made me fucking break down and cry this morning.
Oh, why?
He gave Ariel Helwani, like, all right. So I think Diego's super odd, and he has a weird way of speaking, and sometimes he's difficult to listen to. But like, if you allow yourself to try to connect to what he's saying,
mm-hmm.
and like get past how fucking weird he is, that dude cut the most fire fucking promo in UFC history. Because he fucking meant it. I'm almost crying now. Because he fucking meant it. He was talking about like, all right, so they had a face-off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, Diego get crazy. He took his gloves. He's like, and he gets crazy, right? And he's like almost shaking, looking at Michael Chiesa, right?
Right.
And it's weird, you know, it's weird. It's a Diego Sanchez moment. And so Ariel's like, so Diego, tell us about that stare down. And like, what was behind it? What was going through your mind? And Diego's like, it wasn't my mind. I was feeling a lot of things. I was trying to feel things. I was looking through his eyes just to get into the bottom of his soul, and I was feeling things. Nothing was going through my mind. Everything was going through me. And then he started talking about how, like, everyone's written him off. And he continues to do well, and that he has 33 fights. And in the UFC with no breaks, never taking a year off, never with another organization. Right. And then he goes, I've had 500 stitches in my face. And he starts pointing to his face. He's like, BJ Penn, Ricardo Lamas. He's like pointing to scars.
Yeah.
And like, he went on for like Ariel would ask him a question, but the question was irrelevant because Diego was just talking for 8 minutes about what he thinks about and how he feels. And like, it was fucking intense. It was fucking intense. And I want him to win. And like I met Chiesa. Chiesa's hung out at our house. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like I'm fucking crying. Like, and it was so incredible. Like that dude, he like, especially since he's fucking awkward, which is why it was better to me. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's different when you're like, oh, he speaks well. He's eloquent. Like, I don't fucking bare my soul when I talk to people. I fucking tell you a story that I can think of 3 seconds before I say everything. Like, when you're like that, when you're awkward like Diego is, like, he really did bare his soul there. It was special. Like, it was nice. And I hope he wins. I hope he wins. I hope that guy gets to be world champ one day. Because he deserves it. He deserves it. It was cool. Now I'm all emotional, Anthony.
Understandably.
But it was fucking cool. And who else is fighting?
There's a bitterly bunch. We got
fucking
Gilbert, Claudia.
Who's Gilbert Melendez fighting?
Arnold Allen.
Okay, I have no idea who that is.
Let's see who else. Is there. We got.
Is Cerrone fighting?
No, sorry, he's not fighting. He is not.
Okay.
There's no way he should be fighting.
He's in town. I saw him at the PI, and I was like, wait, didn't you just fight, bro? Like, what are you doing here? Yeah. Like, but I guess it's International Fight Week. He probably has appearances and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit fucks me up. God damn it, Diego Sanchez.
You got Claudia Gadelha that's fighting this weekend, too.
Say again?
Claudia Gadelha.
Who's she fighting?
Ronda Marcos.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool. That'll be a great fight.
The Quiet Storm. The
Yeah.
Quiet Storm.
She's out of Michigan now. You know, like she trains with people that we know.
Okay.
And Claudia is working with my friend Bryce out of Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope Claudia wins because I see her on a regular basis, but I respect Ronda Marcos, and I think she's a very, very tough lady, and it's gonna be a hard fight. But I would pick Claudia if I had never met her.
Yeah.
But since she trains with my fucking friend, you know, like a guy I like a lot.
Yeah.
Who hopefully I'll get to train with more now that neither one of us will have a fight camp. Like if Claudia's fighting now, that's gonna free him up a bit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of free right now, so hopefully we can train where like I'm bigger than him, which is weird, but we're around the same size. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
like,
a weird thing to say.
Who am I bigger than?
I'm bigger than
like,
you,
know,
but
like,
no, we're on the
who
same
the
size.
fuck am I bigger than? Oh, fuck you, Diego. Shit hurt.
That's funny.
Oh,
that's so funny.
Have me crying on the internet. I don't think I've cried on the internet since I lost everything. It's been a minute since I cried on the internet.
There's only been like 2 times, I think. Once. I think when you actually lost everything was the only time it was. Actually, I think both those times weren't recorded like video wise.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think so. Really.
Did I just pop my fucking tear cherry on the internet?
Yeah, I think you might have. But
my tear cherry has been popped.
We can do some data digging later. Find out.
You're like, nah, you probably cry all the time, nigga. You cry.
Cries when he sings songs.
Forrest Whitaker fucking tearing up ass.
Cry when he sings songs. All right, we'll skip this fight because we just talked about Mr. Chiesa. You got Jan Blachowicz versus the Luke Rockhold.
Dude, Luke looks gigantic.
Yeah.
He looks like a fucking monster. I want Luke to win. And then I want him to give me some of these chocolate peanut butter cups I've been hearing about.
He has.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, dog. I feel like we have mutual friends.
Yeah, you can figure it out.
You know what I mean?
You can figure it out.
I feel like if any of those mutual friends end up listening to this podcast, they need to make sure that when they get anything resembling a peanut butter cup,
they send it to me.
that I get one too.
Yeah.
If I won, I mean like 100.
Oh, number one. So 1/100.
Like on some super real shit.
That's funny.
I need it.
That's funny. And then we.
Oh, is it?
It is. we have the undefeated Ben Askren versus Jorge Masvidal.
Dude, I can't even believe this all shit is happening right now. Like, this is a fucking crazy card.
In your backyard.
I always forget that International Fight Week is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and that this UFC, this July, like, fucking 4th of July pay-per-view is so fucking stacked. Every year it's stacked. And like,
crazy.
And every year I'm like, oh yeah, like it's gonna be International Fight Week, cool. And then it comes, and I'm like, wait, what is on the card?
Exactly.
I feel like you just told me main event fights for the whole fucking year.
Yeah, pretty much did.
They're all happening tomorrow.
I was like, you got.
Did everybody make weight?
Let's find out. I believe so. I didn't hear anything go wrong, but let's find out. Live UFC results. Where's the weigh-ins? Weigh-ins. Where's the weigh-ins? Oh, did you also hear that Joanna versus Waterson's October 12th?
Joanna?
Yeah, versus Waterson, yep.
Oh, shit.
Let's see what am I looking up. UFC.
The Karate Hottie versus JJ Champion. Or JJ X Champion.
JJ X Champion. JJ no champion.
Don't say no.
JJ no champion.
No. JJ X. Because it's like you weren't my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you aren't my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But it's not like you weren't. You can't be like, no girlfriend.
That's true.
She your ex-girlfriend.
She X. She's my next.
So she's X's with the UFC belt. It's not like she's no belt.
She's X. Xy belt.
She's from the days when they gave you a lot of belts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She still got that cash available in her back pocket anytime she needs to. Don't feel like selling used panties on the internet. I will just sell a belt. She could do that.
Who sells used panties?
People.
Oh yes, people.
I don't know about any fighters.
I thought you were literally saying that like like, oh, JJ used to do that. Now she doesn't have to. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Like what? It's like that'd be amazing. That'd be an amazing story to break. No. Let's go back to it.
I could technically break a story.
Could you? Do you want to?
I could.
Should you?
I could.
Are you?
But I won't.
Okay, that's good.
It's funny. Like, I met a UFC fighter by chance, and he was wearing the same backpack as me, right?
Yeah.
And so he's waiting for his coffee, and I'm walking by, and I go, "Hey, nice backpack." And I smile, and he turns and he sees my backpack, and I'm like, "Oh, you're who you are, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm Darren. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I work with Jessica I." And he was like, "Oh, cool. That was a tough fight, man." And I was like, "Yeah, respect." And then we started chatting, and I was like, "Do you have anything coming up?" And he's like, "Nothing planned. I'm just doing this thing, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Cool, man." And then we both get on the plane to Vegas. And it's in the front of the plane.
Yeah.
In a nice seat that's wide. And I'm in the middle of the plane.
Yeah.
In the middle of other people, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle seat in the middle of the plane. Like, I'm not fancy, right? Yeah. Get off the plane. We're waiting for our bags. And I got my earphones in. And this dude grabs me by the shoulder and gives me a little shake. And I look, and it's the fighter.
Yeah.
What's up, Doc? He goes, "Got a little news while we were on that plane. Remember I said didn't have anything coming up? Well, turns out
I do.
might have something coming up." And then he told me the name and where, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking awesome!" Like, I was like, "It's a nice opportunity, and it's a big card." And I was like, "It's fucking great! Like, it's so cool." But yeah, it's better to tell that story.
Yeah. After.
No, it's better to tell that story than to act like, "Hey, I've got breaking news. I got something."
Yes.
Because we have listeners, we don't really have viewers. But I wouldn't want to give the impression that, like, when I'm at, so exactly, like, you know what I don't want to fucking do? Like,
what?
Like, I don't want to give the impression, like, when I'm at the fucking PI, that if somebody says something, it's gonna go onto the fucking internet.
Oh, I got you.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And so I won't be that guy. That's why I told you I met a fighter, and he said a thing.
Yeah. So
right?
it's GSP.
And I described the seating arrangements longer than I talked about what his opportunity was, because I think it's a better way to tell that story.
Yeah.
And it keeps everybody whole.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, imagine a world.
Where GSP.
Imagine a world where everybody had a similar ethic.
Yeah. What if
that would be glorious.
GSP? Was GSP going to already fight, Khabib? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you broke? Is that the breaking news?
I was sitting next to GSP, and I was on top of Khabib's lap.
There you go.
And we were playing Tiddlywinks. And while we were playing Tiddlywinks, I challenged Khabib to a fight to the death. And he was like, "Nah, cuz I've seen your videos." And I was like, "Oh, respect." And then GSP started to give me a hand job. And I was like, "No, I'm not impressed with your performance." So that's the breaking news. That's what happened.
That's funny.
Those are the fighters involved.
Oh, you know what you need? You know what you need to do?
No, it's obviously lies.
You know what you need to do?
Just kidding. Just jokes, dude. All respect. Like, those are two of my favorite fighters of all time.
Right.
And, like, I've never met Khabib, but when I met GSP, did I tell you this story?
I think you did. I remember. It's been a while.
You're like, yeah, I've heard this story, bro.
I don't know. Maybe. That's probably.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is, when I met GSP, it was nice to me.
Yeah, it was nice.
So, like,
Soft hands.
I say
soft hands.
I make hand job jokes, don't mean I don't respect. Like, for real, it doesn't mean I don't respect. How are you going to say this about me? Like, hey, bro. It's a joke. I didn't actually say that.
And then Connor walks in with his proper 12, and Khabib takes a sip. GSP takes a sip, and they just all laugh. They just all laugh together.
Like, even kayfabe and all these hookers.
Yeah. That'd be funny. But
that would be funny.
You know what you need to listen to? You should listen to Matt Burns. You can hear of all of, like, how Andres is actually, like, just, like, the biggest troll in the world. More and more, you get to hear more stories about Andres.
On what episode?
I think it was the four. I think it was this. The most recent one was like 4. I think they started talking about how when anybody talks about the lapel guard on the internet, like an account pops up on Reddit and talks about like, yeah, Keenan has a really good lapel guard, but you should really go to BJJ, like that Scully guide. It's much cheaper. So, and he's like, I'm pretty sure that's not true. And I'm like,
yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like,
so funny.
he's the most diabolical of all trolls. You know what that son of a bitch did to me? He had me really out here with that Skip Patterson gimmick. Like Andres Brunauskas is the most prolific troll of all time in jiu-jitsu.
Oh man.
Like, I think he also created this other character who's always asking dudes to like come over and choke him and jerk him off. Named Luca. Okay? I think Andres is also Luca. So like let me make that known. Let the facts be known. And like they're like literally lots, and I mean like 50 plus world class. I was gonna say world famous because that's fucking super whack. None of us are famous. World class grapplers have at one point been contacted by this dude named Luca. Okay, like this is real shit, right? Here's some breaking news, nigga. Like here's your fucking breaking news.
Oh man, it was so funny. It's so stupid.
Luca says he would like to be choked by a strong jiu-jitsu man. Yeah. Oh yeah. And like, if I remember right, there were oils involved. Like
I do recall something like this. Yeah.
Luca mad creepy and wants you to choke him real hard, and then like. Then this is Andres' tell, I think. Now I'm gonna give him. I'm burying Andres right now.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm trying to end him. And like, here's the thing. I know. Here's the best part. If this actually moves him in any way, which it might not.
Yeah.
He'll evolve.
Yeah.
He'll change his gimmick and become better. So it's fine.
Yeah.
When I think I have Andres, when I'm like, hey. Do you know about this? And I think it's him trolling. He'll be like, oh, that guy contacted me too, right? He does that, like he doubles down. Like he'll always have like when I got the Skip troll, I was like, nigga, you're Skip. Like, and he was like, nah, bro, like he contacted me too. And then like we're walking around some fucking LA suburb, San Diego area, like suburb and like a shopping center. And he's like, you ever been contacted by this guy named Luca? And I'm like, no. He goes, oh man, he's super weird. Like, he reached out to me once and he like shows me his phone, right? Like it's impossible for him to have grabbed someone else's phone and texted him.
Right. Yeah. Like it's like this is
like,
crazy.
Like the toughest motherfucker who ever lived. Like like, oh man, he's super weird. He like wants to get choked. Like, you should talk to him. And I was like, oh, I should. Like,
should talk to him.
Talk to Luca. So funny.
It might make you some. It's just.
So yeah. So he's also trolling Keenan.
You can just hear it there's like lots of like little moments of like just affecting like that just that social circle of like Josh Hinger and Keenan. He's like yeah. It's like yeah. He said one time I just came in. He told me that we're artists and that once you make art and you leave it in the world, it's for the people now. And he's like, that was the most profound thing I've ever heard anybody say. I'm like, oh man, like this guy's out here changing people's lives.
You know, like one, that's true.
Yeah. Well, it's because
look at what happened to music. You know, you can't like most people have their music for free. Let's keep it real, right?
Right.
And that's the nature of art. Like, you put it in the world, it doesn't belong to you.
Yeah. It's
not yours. It's just like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is fucking bullshit. Like, there's no Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
There's pajama wrestling. You know, it's like, it doesn't belong to them.
Yeah.
It's not Brazilian anymore.
Yeah.
You know? It doesn't belong to anybody. It's in the world. It's become a part of, like, the grand song of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no one has a copyright on everybody's song. Like, it's a big-ass song.
Well, wasn't it like because of like
singing little parts?
Wasn't it like what happened was because they talked about that today too. Actually, it's like because of like the like how like Gracie's like kind of like was like you can't call it Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, so because it's
Oh, bro, don't even get me started on this shit. This is such an old argument.
Is it?
Like, so what did they say?
They said basically that Gracie's trademarked Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and other people kept calling it Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, so they instead of calling it Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, they'd be called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. because they were getting hey, like cease and desist stuff for people using Gracie Jiu Jitsu name. And so
Okay,
that's why they called it Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in America, because yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of sort of true.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking jujitsu.
Right.
Right? And it was like Gracie Academy of Jiu-Jitsu, right? And when they came to America, Horian trademarked that term.
Yeah.
And he prosecuted his own family members. Like he sought out litigation.
Right.
With people within his own family for using the term simply because he said it belongs to me. Right?
Right.
And so to avoid that, a lot of people started using the term Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in America. Right? But to this day, it still gets weird. So Pedro Sauer, if you ask him what he does, he'll say, I do Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Right? But I really think that what they're doing is they're trying to pay homage to their lineage.
Right.
And though my lineage, my belt history is attached to that lineage and to that legacy, if you will, I'm also influenced by things far outside of that. Far, far outside of the scope of what Helio Gracie perceived as what grappling was. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm drawing inspiration from those things to say that what I practice and teach is Gracie Jiu-Jitsu would not be accurate. It's one of the aspects of what I teach. There's also folk style wrestling, freestyle wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling. There's leg lock transitions that were not a part of that curriculum of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
There's a lot. So it's I think people just want to have an attachment to that name still.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think it's time to let go of that and all other things like it. It's evolving. It's evolving. And if you want to study it like it's in a time capsule, there's literally a place to do that. And I think it's the best execution of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you should just move to Miami and train with Pedro and Guy and their brother Joaquin, the Valente brothers are the guys I'm referring to. Go train with those guys and really learn it the way that it was taught to them. Yeah. If that's what you really want. But chances are all you really want to do is get in your pajamas, wrestle, lose weight, make friends. You don't need to do Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. You just need pajamas and some friends.
Yeah. About it, really.
So yeah, Andres is a troll.
Yeah, he is a big troll, which
That's nice to know.
I'm
glad that my best friends don't change.
And one last thing, and they did give away the barbecue references.
What?
Yes.
They talked about the barbecue?
They gave a brief mention. It's sometimes you don't get belt promotions if you don't hang out with your, go to barbecues on the weekend and stuff like that.
Oh shit! They exposed my joke. They exposed me.
They didn't go too much into it. They just made that comment. Sometimes
Yeah, they made a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were paying attention and you know that I make that joke, then you would know where it came from.
Right. Oh, it's so funny.
But that's a lot of things overlapping.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot of worlds coming together to make that one joke. It's well, maybe you didn't go to the right barbecue, dog.
Hey, man.
Maybe you should start going to church.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just making a suggestion. If you want to be treated properly.
That's funny. That is funny.
Barbecues, churches, and always deferring to your professor.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you want to be a fucking legend, don't do any of that.
Don't do anything. Exactly. Don't do anything.
Anthony?
Yes.
I'm done.
You done? All right.
I can hear we have a new arrival. We have a new guest in our house, and I should go greet them instead of being a weird person sitting in his room talking into the internet.
I forgot about that. You do have a guest coming today. I do recall this. Yeah, she's a lovely lady.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
I will pass on that information. Audience, though you are small, you are mighty, and I love you. I fucking love you. Thanks for watching me cry. Anthony,
Yes.
thank you for everything you're doing out here, dog.
Hey.
Thank you for raising your voice.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I'll talk to you later.
I'll see you.
Goodbye, Internet.